Can everyone hear me?
Yeah, it's great. I can see it and we can hear you.
Yeah, so let's directly jump to the projects now. We will be sharing this PPT, and we have this cute little QR code for direct links to our projects you can scan. Let's jump directly to the project. First project would be taken care by Ivyas. Ivyas, over to you. All right.
Okay. Hello, everyone from Azerbaijan. I hope you are all doing well. First of all, I'd like to mention that I'm so happy that I got the chance to present to you my project on this special day. Before I start talking about the project that I've been working on during the last 10 weeks, I'd like to talk about myself first, how I got here, what my journey was like, and how Google Summer of Code with Joomla affected my life and career. So a little bit about me. I'm Eyvaz. I'm currently a third-year computer science student at French Azerbaijan University. I like coding, blogging, participating in competitions, hackathons, and conferences. Now let's talk about my journey. It was early March when I realized the existence of a program which is organized by Google for encouraging students from all over the world to work on open source projects during the summer break. I liked so many things about Google Summer of Code, but what I liked most and what motivated me most about the program was that the code produced during the 10 weeks was going to be used by people from all over the world. And I applied because I was so eager to get started to work on open source projects and to contribute to become a member of community. So I chose the media manager, and I guess the Joomla community saw how eager and motivated I was, and they accepted me to work on this project. So what was the project about? My project had three main goals. Next slide, please. Okay, so the first goal was to implement responsive images with art direction functionality. Have you waited more than 3 seconds for an image to get loaded while it was unnecessarily wasting your cellular data? This happens because the image that was being downloaded had a way bigger size than your mobile device, and it was just shrinked by CSS to fit into it. So how can we fix this problem? By displaying the right image for the right screen size. In this part of the project, I made sure that every single image that gets inserted to the website content has its different size versions which are generated on the fly. In addition, the image sizes have been made fully customizable so that it's content authors who decide which size of an image to display in which screen. The second objective of my project in the next slide was that when I started working on the project, it was possible to enter some image details like description, class, figure caption, lazy loading option, and etc. while adding the image to the content editors. But what if someone wants to change these details thereafter? There was no option to do that, and this is where I came in. I improved the edit form in a way that users can fully customize an image even after they add it to the content. The third objective of my project in the next slide is we can't argue that media is one of the most important things in a website content, and that's the very reason why content authors should be able to upload whatever media type they choose and conduct any necessary actions on it before publishing it to the web. And Joomla didn't have much support for playable media types such as video, audio, and PDF files. And in this section of the project, I implemented new features and plugins that allow users to easily upload these media formats and interact with them. So these were the main objectives, goals of my project. In conclusion, I'd like to mention that I really enjoyed being a summer student in Joomla because I reached my goal. I became a member of a great community, and that's all. Thank you for your attention. Joomla for all.
Thank you, Ivyas. Our next student is Jatin. He is part of our first enrollment for SOC, Summer of Code, as I mentioned in starting. Jatin, over to you.
Yeah, just a second. So hello everyone, my name is Jatin Chave. So first of all, happy birthday to Joomla. So I'm part of Summer of Code program, and I'm a student developer here. So first of all, about me. So I'm a pre-final year student doing my bachelor's in technology in electronics as my major. and I'm from Veer Mata Jijabai Technological Institute, that's VGTI Mumbai, Mumbai, India. Basically I'm full stack web developer, and I'm part of technical clubs in my college like Google Developers Student Club and Community of Coders. Can you change the slide? Yeah. Apart from my studies, I love spending my time exploring technical stuffs and doing programming. I mentor my juniors in various tech stacks like web development and machine learning, and also take mentoring webinars in college. My aim is to make a better community for all by open source and education. Yeah, so basically my project name is Guided Tour. So what exactly is a guided tour? Just a second. So in Joomla, our certain workflows are needed to do certain tasks. Currently, users have to read the documentation if they are new and want to know how they can achieve different things. This project should implement the functionality of guided tours in Joomla. A tour is a click-through pathway which the user can follow to fulfill certain tasks like creating an article, so on. The one other hand, Joomla code should deliver basic tours for user to use the core functionality without the need of the read of the documentation. This is the best part. And on the other hand, it should be possible to create their own tools. Example, as administrators for system operators, copy and change existing tools, or allow third-party developers ship their own tools when their extension will be installed. So basically, this is a simple and sweet project which will enhance the user experience. So the picture that you're seeing on the screen is the management area of the guided tour, which is an MVC component, a Joomla for MVC component. As you can see, here user can put the details of the tour, like the tour name, the tour description, the tour URL, and other technical stuff. So can you change the slide? So basically, what my project is about, it's a MVC component plus integration of the Joomla 4 plugin. So what is the work of the Joomla 4 plugin is, it will create a drop down in the toolbar, and which will show all the tours which are in the management area of the guided tour. So basically, when a user will click it, so it will start the tour. Like here is the example, like how to create a user in backend. So if user enables the plugin, so he'll see the one drop down in the extensions of their choice, like all and users and other components. So as this is user, like this is related to user, so it will user can select either user or all to show where he wants to show this tool. So when user will click on the drop down, there will be the option of the tour names. Can you change the slide, please? So this is the example, like this is the step of the guided tour plugin when the plugin will be activated. So this is the example where this is showing that if you click here, this is the first step of the creating a user in backend. If you click here, so you can create a new user, and there are many more steps to follow. So yeah, that's all. That's a little introduction about my project. So basically, this is sweet and simple project which will enhance the user experience. Yeah. So about the challenges that I faced. So there were a lot of challenges in the beginning, like understanding the huge code base like this, and also understanding the Joomla workflows and code style. But yeah, like this is the benefit when you this is the benefit, like when you be part of a big open source organization like Joomla, you will get great mentors who will help you, like, and who will help you to overcome all the challenges. So my experience with Joomla, can you change the slide, John? Can you change the slide? Just a second, previous. Yeah. So my experience with Joomla and my next plan. So the experience was great. The experience to work under the professional mentors and being part of this big open source organization is indeed a great experience. In future, I would like to contribute to Joomla and will work for the betterment of this community. Thank you.
Thanks, Jatin. Next session would be taken care by Kumar Shivam. He would be talking about keyboard navigation in regard to accessibility. Over to you, Kumar.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Shivam. Yeah, hello everyone. I hope you are all doing great. So on Joomla 16th birthday, I would like to take this opportunity to wish a very happy birthday to Joomla. So my goal today is to help you understand the Google Summer of Code Joomla project. Hi, I am Kumar Shivam from India, a Bachelor Technology final year student. I am on the Information Technology track with a focus on open source contribution and the web development. Also, I am a mentor of a Google Developer Exchange program in Southeast Asia, which is started just a before month. So the project is all about the accessibility and enhancing the keyboard navigation systems. To implement and improve several accessibility features in Joomla keyboard navigation, I have created a one system plugins which will help the user who don't want to use the mouse or the people who are dealing with the disabilities can easily navigate and interact with the Joomla core features. So the components, the buttons like new, back, save and close, these all can be managed by the keyboard shortcuts only. There are also some features that I am planning to add, like to improve the color enhancement, the CSS properties to navigate over the buttons in the accessibility features. So the user can also configure and change the different key combination as per their need. So there are the keyboard navigation, the plugins which are made for the users. The users can easily go to the plugin settings, search about the shortcut keyboard navigation, and configure the buttons. Like if a user don't want to use the Control plus N for the new buttons, he or she can change as per their need. So it saves your times and efficiency while designing and developing any of your projects or websites while you are working on Joomla. So in this project, my mentor has played a very important role. He corrected my mistakes all the times and helped me to move on. I will continue to contribute to such esteemed organization in high impact environment. So over to you, Shivam. So that's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Kumar. Over to you, Rahul, for front-end inline editing.
I am Rahul. I worked on front-end inline editing under the GSOC 2021, and I am a final year BTech student at IIT Mandi, and I am interested in web technologies. In my first year, I started my journey with JavaScript, and then I learned some Vue.js, and then I moved on to React Native, React, and Node.js. So about my open source journeys. In the beginning, I started opening issues on the GitHub repos that I used on the software, on the GitHub repos that I used daily. So that's how I started my open source journey. And with time, I started solving their good first issues. So then I got to know about GSOC, and I applied to Joomla. Now I have spent around 10 weeks with Joomla, and front-end inline editing is ready, and hopefully this will be released with Joomla 4.1. So main idea of inline editing was to avoid the page reloads and any pop-ups while editing the content of your website. So I divided the project in 2 stages, so to make it easier for me. And so in the first stage, I focused on getting it working, and I played with 2-3 approaches, and I focused on user experience. So once I have the user once I have a target, so I can refactor the code to ensure the target. So in the first stage, as you can see in the GIF, inline editing mode of Tiny Editor is used. And this was the first stage of the project. Next slide, please. Next. Okay, so in the stage 2, I refactor the code. So in the stage 1, there was no data validation, neither client side or not the server side. So the stage 2 was mainly about improving the code, and we had the target for the user experience. So I refactor the code to make it easy for the developers. So and so in the stage 2, I created HTML service. So wherever you want to make an field inline editable, you can use this service to mark that field as inline editable, and the service will do all the work to make that field inline editable. So second version also supports all the functionality that, like article versions, that is supported in the full form saving, and that was my experience. Sometimes I was stuck on some topics and I couldn't make the right decision, so I took help of my mentors, and I want to thank mentors and Joomla for such an amazing experience. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Rahul. Over to you, Rishabh, for cookie management. Would you like to speak?
Hello, everyone, and I'm very honored and excited to be present here to present my GSOC project. And I'm Rishabh, and I'm currently a pre-final year student of Computer Science and Engineering at National Institute of Technology, Sikkim, India. And I'm a huge fan of free and open source projects because it gives us a lot of freedom to do whatever we want with the code. We have the code, but we can do whatever we want. So talking about my project, so first I started my GSOC journey as well as my first open source journey with Joomla in March 2021. So talking about my project, it's of cookie management system, which is required by all the websites across the globe, and to protect the user's privacy. And it's a guideline. It's a guideline drafted and published by GDPR. It's a guideline published by European Union to protect the privacy, and it's a kind of compulsory for all the European websites. So currently we don't have a native cookie manager in Joomla, but now we have a cookie manager, will be in Joomla 4.1. So next slide, please. Yeah, this cookie manager project has mainly 3 parts. First part is for adding cookies with its categories. So first we can add cookies. So cookie name with its description, with its cookie expiration period, along with its category. So when user can see what cookies will be set when user give consent to this particular category, it will be shown to the user. And the second part of this project is to set scripts, is adding scripts to set according to its category. So we can add a script with external as well as inline script. We can add object, we can add link, whatever thing which can set cookies, we can add here according to its position as well. So if we add script, we can add the position, whether it's after start head or before end head, or after start body or before end body. So this is about scripts, adding script. And the third part is about consents. So after user gave consents to the cookies, so a unique identifier, 2 identifiers. First is UUID, it's for identifying unique user, and its second is fun code CCUUID. So it's CC cookie consent universally unique identifier. It's for identifying consents, and UUID it's for identifying users. So when user give consents, it CCUID, UUID along with its cookies, consents, opt-in, opt-out, URL of the browser, URL where user give consents, a user agent of the browser, along with consent date and time. It will be registered, it will be stored in the database, and that can be displayed to the user when they give consent, after they give consent. So they can change it, or using CCUID, it can contact the administrator, whatever, because if user have any complaint, they can contact the administrator. So next slide, please. So yeah, this is the UI of cookie banner. So this is the text, and every text can be changed using language override. So we have managed consent preferences, and here. So this cookie banner can be displayed at 9 positions. So from top left corner to top bottom right corner. So this can be managed. We have 9 positions to display. And the second one is cookie setting. It's for preferences. So we can add here. We have cookie name with its description and with its expiration period. So if we press more, then we can see the cookie name description, and if we against it, then it will go. So, and this will be done purely in front end side. We have used JavaScript for that, and for consent we have used Ajax for that. So we don't want a repeat request response cycle for that, because it's sometimes irritating. So that's, next slide please. Yeah, this is the cookie consent. When user gave consent, this is the consent necessary. This will display to the user when user gave consent to the necessary category. And this is consent ID. This will user can give to the website administrator to if they have any complaint about the website. And this is the consent date. So yeah, this is the consent date. At this time, the user gave consent to this particular category and opt out another category. So we have this, and this cannot be changed in the backend side. So this is everything is we cannot change. So for administrator part, we have used components, and for front end part, we have used a plugin for that. So, and for this major language is JavaScript. I have used JavaScript more in this project, and I am very happy to. I am very excited. I have learned a lot during this 10-week GSOC journey. So thank you, Jumla, and happy birthday to Jumla. Thank you. Have a nice day. Next slide, please.
Thanks, Rishabh. Over to you, Tushar, for website cron jobs. Tushar, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hello, everyone. I'm really glad and excited to be here on a special day. And I'm going to talk about what I've been working on for Joomla for some weeks now. So a little bit about me. I'm Tushar. I'm a computer science major in my second year of study at the School of Engineering Technology in India. I've been into open source software for a long time now, but this is my first major involvement in an open source project. So this endeavor is really special and important to me. Okay, so let's get to what I'm doing. I'm working on a Joomla infrastructure for scheduled tasks, or as you would call them, pseudo-cron jobs, because they're not really cron jobs. So why is this relevant? As a website owner, you might want to schedule certain tasks like maybe backup snapshots, or sending over visitor statistics, or routine maintenance tasks like clearing up the cache, or even if you go wild, automating when some article goes live and it's archived. The possibilities are endless, especially with new Joomla 4.0 features like workflows and more. Okay, so the previous slide, please. So let's have a look at how this works. Here you can see the list view. I know this is not very information dense at the moment. It's something we're working on. But let's first have a look at the infrastructure and how you know, behind the face of it works. So plugins can now, with this infrastructural change, offer task routines. which you can configure by going to the cron jobs manager. These scheduled tasks, jobs will run whenever a page on your site is requested, but with a minimal performance hit, because first, we're doing all of it after the main response using the on after response Joomla event. And second, we only do a single task per request and offer task timeouts whenever it's possible. For example, with the get request plugin that we're going to see in a while. Over the next slide, please. So this is what you see when you go on to trying to add a job. This view shows you a grid with all of the tasks your active plugins have to offer, and you get to select one of these tasks. Let's go with the get request task for this. Next slide, please. So here we see the cron job form as it is at the moment. You get to select the execution rule, which as it may be an interval, or if you're an advanced user or for advanced use cases, you can go with a custom match, which is really a cron style expression as standard in Unix operating systems. Furthermore, below you can see that there's a job parameters field set. This is the field set enhanceable by the plugin that's offering the jobs, and there you can configure things that may be specific to the job, like for a get request, it may be the request URL. You can have the timeout there. You can have authorization headers, depending on where you're going to send the request. That may be relevant. Okay, over to the next slide. So here we get to the logging, and this is really my favorite part of the of whatever we have until now. So here you can see when the job starts running, when it ends, its response code to the internal plugin, and you can also see logging from the job itself to see if it worked right or what the response was, as in case of the get request job. Or below you can also see, if you really squint, my apologies, with the get online job, it shows whether your site was offline before or not. Okay, over to the next slide, please. So with this, we get to the stuff that we have planned for the future. It has really been about 5 weeks of working for me until now. So we have a bunch of stuff that's planned for the next 5 weeks and for the period below, beyond that. First is Joomla console commands. Of course, this is for power users who may want to configure things from the CLI or maybe SSH into their servers. Next is a native cron integration. So while the primary objective of this project is to add scheduled task infrastructure to Joomla, perhaps more importantly for servers that do not offer a native cron, for servers that do offer native cron, it might be useful to be able to manage the task through Joomla itself and maybe integrate with Joomla plugins that can probably do a lot more than the command line may be able to access. Next is a routine for arbitrary command execution. So with this, you can execute, say, a script or some other arbitrary command on your server. And next is a routine for site maintenance tasks. So if you know, Joomla 3.x had a bunch of CLI scripts that could be paired with your server's cron to perform maintenance tasks like cleaning up the garbage collector, the cache, stuff like that. So we have planned a port over for those things to job plugins that can integrate better with the new infrastructure. With this, I would like to thank you all for listening and pass this over to, I think, Ishat is the next speaker.
Yeah, thanks, Tushar. Yatharth, over to you.
Thank you so much. So greetings, everyone. I'm Yatharth Vyas, a final year computer engineering student. Along with being involved in web development, I like to teach and mentor my junior students. I also enjoy contributing to open source, and I always celebrate when my PR gets merged. So yeah, and moving on to my GSOC project. So there were 4 tasks involved in my GSOC project, out of which we shall be covering the 3 most important and the most interesting ones. So the first task was to improve the process of placing modules in a menu, and we have a short demo ready for you guys, so you can actually animate and visualize how the process works. So can we move on to the next slide and dive right into the demo? So this is the demo. So first you have to click a button to place modules, which takes you to this screen where you can see the place module button next to all the available position of the template. After you click on a position, you are taken to the old and the conventional module addition process, where you can set the module settings. And for this demo, let's name the module as Happy Birthday Joomla. Once we do that, we can see that the position of the module as well as the menu page has been pre-filled depending on which page you started the module process from in the front end. So we could go back to the starting in a while, and we can see, as you can see now, the new module has been placed in the front end. And I think we had mixed out the starting of the animation, and that was it over there where we clicked on the place modules button. So this wraps up with our first task, which creates an interesting way to add modules where the user can actually visualize where the module will be placed after you add it to your website. My second task was to improve the incorporation of modules in articles. So can we move on to the next slide for the next demo? I think we missed the starting of the animation, but so let's continue from here. After you add a module, you can go to the imported modules tab, where you can see the imported modules. Like, there are 3 possible ways to import modules, and you can see all of them over here. We should be getting back to the start of the animation soon. Okay, yeah. So at the start of the animation, you can see that first we have to go to the module page, where there is a new add module button, which is named as new. If you go there, then you can add a module in the typical way, and let's name the module as Happy Birthday Joomla again for the demo. Once we save the module and we close it, we can see in the text field that the module has been added to the article. So let's save the module. Let's save the article. Now we can see that the module is imported. We can also edit the module directly from this article edit view. Also, we can remove the module using just a simple click of a button. So in the previous iteration, there used to be just the text displayed in the text field, which wasn't very intuitive for the non-technical users to manipulate it. So they had to guess whether would deleting this particular text be right for the module, or am I making any mistake? Is this the right way to do it? So just to improve on that, we have come up with this more user-friendly and an interactive way to incorporate and import and update or delete the modules that we are using. The next and the last task for today is to incorporate workflows in modules. So let's move on to the last slide. So workflows define a set of stages and transitions to effortlessly manage the status of a module and customize user permissions to change their status by performing transitions. So this project integrated the existing workflow component that was used by articles into modules. You guys would be familiar with the workflows that were present for articles. They were introduced as another GSOC project in 2017. Those have been updated to also work for modules with this project. So as you can see in the very small animation, there is the modules view, and there is a button for stage where we can click on it and we can perform any transitions. The 3 basic transitions that come along with the default workflows are publish, unpublish, and trash, and they do what they say. This is how workflows work for modules, and you can also notice in the left sidebar right below administrator modules that there is a new menu item for modules workflows. Here you can visit this page and you can customize and perform CRUD operations for all the different types of workflows, the different types of stages and the transitions for modules. And with that, I would like to wrap up my part. I would like to thank everyone for being here with me, and I want to congratulate the team behind Joomla for reaching the release stage of Joomla 4. And I would like to conclude by saying Happy Birthday, Joomla. Thank you.
Thanks, Yatharth. We are almost at the time, but Parth, can we take 5 minutes to?
Yeah, should be okay. We'll be able to adjust it.
Sure. Anyone has any questions? We have Benjamin, Philip, Patrick over here, and we have all our 7 students.
Yeah, so there is one question from the audience. I've just put it in the chat. Sure.
Sure.
So probably I can answer this question. So for the one who don't see the question is, all these GSOC features, they still have to be merged in Joomla. And yeah, that's correct. So we are still in development phase, as Shivam said. For Google Summer of Code, we are at the very end. So in the next few weeks, I think there will be a lot of pull requests. It's already starting. So if you check the GitHub tracker in Joomla, you will see that there are already some pull requests from students, and they will come in the next weeks. And what we need is testers and supporters. So if you like this function, stay on attention and check the tracker. There's also all the code is also already visible in Joomla projects. Not sure, Parth, probably you can put somewhere the link. It's on the QR code from the first slide. I think it's Joomla project. There are all this code already there, so you can start testing, giving feedback. They are all nice, like in Joomla in pull requests, but of course in the student repository. But yeah, it has to be merged and it has to be tested. And I think they are really great feature, but they are also, because they are so great, they are also very big. So they need a lot of testing and a lot of feedback.
Absolutely, absolutely. We'll share it in the YouTube chat with everyone. Shivam, if you could just post it to me on the chat,
I will do that. Yeah.
Do you mind if I can just say one last thing, Parth?
Yes, Phil, if you can show your face.
I just
I want
like
to
to
see
say-
how you look after 24 hours of a release.
And we've still got another event to go. I just want to say to Parth and all of you there, because I know you invited us along before GSOC started to demonstrate to some of your students and the people that are working with you. Benjamin and Shivam have really done an amazing job in both of the sessions that we have. They've managed to get, they mentor the students as well as the mentors. They themselves are in there daily, talking to the students and really encouraging them and helping them along. Shivam took on the job fantastically and has really filled it. He added to GSOC, gave us the problem that we can't use that name as the whole name anymore because we've now got 2. But what we'd really like is to find a few more to make Shivam's life even more difficult so that we have at least 4 projects a year. So we can do the whole year and just keep it a continuous cycle to keep him on his toes. So any other projects out there you can think of, push it through and we'll make Shivam's life more difficult. And you know, there's no time like the present to join the projects, to get to know the code base and to start learning. It's just come out today. So everybody's new to all the features. Anyone that's interested, get involved, join, get yourself ready for the next GSOC, next Summer of Code, the next project that's coming along. So you've got a little bit more time now to familiarize yourself with the code base so that you can really perform and then be picked for that project. And that's my bit done.
Yep, sorry, yeah, Philip, definitely. And next year we would plan to have much more projects in different umbrellas, GSOC and SOC. Any more questions, Parth?
I think the only question was related to when will these features come out. So I think that you answered. So I'll just say that really excited to see these really exciting projects coming out. I hope they make it in time for 4.1. And Shivam, I'll take up Phil on his request. We'll make your life harder.
Anytime.
So thank you so much, Shivam. This was really a good session, and everybody, all of the students who have been part of GSOC, I was a mentor in one of the early editions, and it's really fantastic be part of the project. And thank you so much from the entire project for the time you've spent on the project and making these contributions. Like Benjamin said, we will post the link in YouTube. Everybody who is listening and everybody who will watch this recording later, we request you to come in and help make sure that this code is tested and it actually goes in. Thank you so much.
One comment.
Yes,
we
please.
were both together on the same project. It was the workflow project, right? We were together.
Yes, we did work on the workflow.
It was my first mentor project when I was with you.
Yeah, I think it's really nice to see workflows go in, and the amazing part is that there's a nice backstory to it. I had written the first spec for workflow and I thought it was just too complicated, so we never built it. And then we put it out as a GSOC idea, and then I think it was really great, Benjamin, that you picked it up, developed it so much better, and it's actually part of the core now, and now we'll see it coming in modules and so much more. So I think that's how a community evolves, and GSOC is, I think, a pretty good example of how an open source project evolves from idea to conceptualization to actually code getting out, and even new people coming into the project through new students getting introduced to the code, new features coming into the core. So I think Google Summer of Code has been really great for Joomla, and I really hope that we keep doing more of this.
Yeah.
So thanks everyone, the mentors and the students for making this happen. And I'll just say this, I mean,